welcome back everyone. Can you see us hiding behind all of these beautiful plants and flowers? We're kind of getting excited back here because, you know, a week ago we were supposed to have you on. Mother Nature had other plans for us with all that snow, and hopefully we're thinking that it was our last freeze. What do you say?
I'd like to think so, but you were just saying it's going to snow again up in the high country.
Up in the mountains, up in the mountains.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, we brought in Patrick O'Meara with the Associated Landscape Contractors of Colorado, kind of to talk about the fact that we are looking at better planting weather here for the metro area in the next kind of couple of weeks. So if you haven't been able to get out into the front yard, the backyard, now is the time. And you brought us some amazing plants to think about when we do go to the nursery. What are you kind of wanting people to look out for when they do go in?
Well, a couple different things. First of all, I mean, there are semis full of plants and trees and shrubs and all that coming into these nurseries. So, I mean, it's ready and we are ready to, to plant.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things that we do with Colorado is experience quite a bit of dryness.
Yes.
And so if you have the wrong plant, they're going to be affected by that, especially as they get older. But this is a smattering of plants that do really well in dry weather.
Okay.
And that's what we're looking for, something that's going to have, quote, bad conditions, but thrive in.
Yes, and you were calling them smart plants, right?
Smart plants, yeah. And they're smart for the area. If I'm going to, especially as a landscape contractor, if I'm going to plant something and warranty it, I want it to live. And the customer wants it to live too,
Yes.
but they also want it to be attractive.
We want it to look good. We want our yards to kind of bring us that joy, so it can be drought resistant as well as beautiful.
Yeah,
right?
Yep, as well as, you know, and bug resistant, and some of these are deer resistant. And
which is important depending on where you live. If you're closer up into the foothills or here in the metro area. You brought a lot. So I want you to kind of walk us through these beautiful plants, flowers, to give folks a good idea of maybe what to get when they are in the nursery.
Okay, so a smattering of different things. I wanted to get some yellow flowering, some purple flowering. I wanted to get some different textures in here. When people think about Xeric, which is, it was coined by Denver Water, and it talks about how these plants are Xeric if they can grow without additional water. You know, we're going to go into an even greater drought than we are now. So if we have plants that once they get established with water don't need that, I think we'll be in good shape. One of the first things that people tell me when they hear Xeric is, oh, you're just talking about yucca. And yucca I think are cool, but here are two examples of yucca that, I mean, that's a fantastic look in the landscape. That variegation, the dual colors.
The stripes?
Yep, the stripes. Yep, so yellow and green on that. This is a different type of yucca, and that is, I mean, that salmon color is fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you brought a lot of purples too.
I brought some purples. With this, I wanted to show how a little bit of yellow, this is a Spanish gold broom, and the purple of this silver fountains butterfly bush. I mean, that's such a neat color combo.
Butterfly bush.
Butterfly bush, and it absolutely attracts butterflies.
It'll bring them in.
It will bring them in.
Okay, and talk to me briefly about these grasses, really quick.
Okay, so this is a fine line buckthorn, and I really like it. It gets about 8 feet tall by 3 feet wide, so it's a pencil in the landscape, and the texture on that with those thin leaves is different than just about anything else out there. So I like that. Last two things I'll say, well, three, I could talk about all
I know you could.
This is Russian sage, and people will roll their eyes at Russian sage, but it does so well here. You have to put it in the right place where it's going to kind of grow out of its bounds. And then people ask me about trees. So I brought one example of a little tree. Yep, this is a scrub oak or a gamble oak. And it is what you find like in Castle Pines, and it just grows so well down here.
So many options for us to choose from. Thank you so much, Patrick, for coming in. I'm going to have all of his tips and tricks on 9news.com. So if you missed something, go there. We'll be back right after this.
Thanks for having me.